Hello. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Behind Closed Door with Mamaliez. It's about sharing of inspiring stories and journeys, and sharing of having a very important discussion with unconditional love and respect. For tonight, we have a very special topic. Uh, I'm going to share with you guys. Before that, we have the topic is how did they take up the challenge to choose solo daddy's life with positivity. But before I introduce to you guys about these three amazing people, I want to share first what we're going to have tomorrow at Saturday at 4 p.m. is Mama Liz wants to learn what everybody ought to know about suicide. We have three special guests, Dr. Nina Hafiz, Kak Nga Alia, who's the founder of AWAS, and then we have Hana Azlan, who is also a suicide survivor. So please join us tomorrow at 4 p.m. And also another thing I would like to share with you guys, um, I just started today and launched this aid for Ain. As you know, I interviewed her, Ain Husniza. She's a social activist she's creating awareness about how to make a school a safer place. She's a very amazing young girl, 17 years old. But recently she got a defamation suit from the teacher um, that was she was talking about in her TikTok that been become viral. So I thought this would be a very good way where we can show support to her. So please do go to Simply Giving and appeal on our donation appeal. I 849. Okay. Okay, let's go back to today, tonight, I guess. Among them, okay, I introduce first my dad. He's Papa Halim Yahya. He's a retired HR manager, a vice chairman of Larut Matan Bible Putra Committee Malaysia. He's he's a very talented artist at home. He loves to do painting, beautiful paintings for us. And then he's also a community leader and builder, a father of seven grandchildren. And then we have Teacher Ken. I've been inviting him many times over to my show. I think he's already expert in my show. So he is a parent and teacher trainer, a licensed headmaster, HRDF accredited trainer. Also, he is a law LLB honors, a lawyer, law graduate, and he knows how to sing and play. He's a guitarist. Yeah, I've yet to hear yet. I want to hear how he sings one day. And plays his guitar. He's also a father of two. And finally, Jeff Tan, one of my buddy in Popcorn, which is authority in classes that I take together with him. He is a pathfinder, a transformational coach, leadership mastery facilitator, trainer, nature lover, and active lifestyle, and father of two. He's also very famous and very known as the balcony man. Especially during the pandemic, you will see him at the balcony. So let's welcome all these three amazing fathers online. Let's get them up. Hi, Teacher Ken.
Hey everyone. Good evening.
Hi,
Hey
Jeffrey.
Hi.
Jeffrey.
Hi. Good evening. Thank you.
And check
Hi,
Halim.
Yeah.
Hey everyone. Good
Oh, wow.
hello.
evening.
Good
Hi.
evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get on, I just want to say hello to everyone who's tuning in. Let us know where you are tuning in from. We have here Melanie. Hi, Melanie. Thank you for joining in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Are you in Malaysia, outside Malaysia? Are you a mom? Are you a daddy? Are you a solo mom or are you a solo daddy? Okay. So why not we get some short introduction first from all our super daddies here. Let's start with Teacher.
Hey, thanks, Liz. Okay, so now, hi everyone. I guess that I'm a parenting trainer. This means I go into corporates and I go into schools to go and train the parents how to become happier parents and to stop yelling at their children. So, yep, I have two lovely boys. One of them is 10 years old and one of them is 6 years old. On a day to day, they live with me. But, yep, just to go and put it out there, my ex wife is really extremely supportive. We're on good terms and she comes and hangs out quite often. So yep, that's the situation for me. Back to you, Liz.
Okay. How about next? How about Jeffrey? Would you please introduce yourself a bit?
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Liz. Hi, I'm Jeffrey. I'm a Pathfinder, coach, and trainer. And what I do is I help executives and managers find their way, find their path to the personal and professional development. So, yep, I'm a father of two, and my two kids live with their mom, who is super with them, taking care of their studies and stuff. And I'm kind of like the weekend dad. Yeah.
Ah,
And we are also in very good terms. We communicate very well now. Now. And so we are very focused on taking care of the kids. Right, back to
awesome.
you.
Awesome.
Back to you, Liz. Thank you.
I think my dad disappeared for a while.
Right.
Maybe I will just share with you guys, introduce my dad. My
Okay.
dad, he's already, how old is he? 75 years old, 1945. So how old is he now? 77. I went said now he's 1945. So he was born in 1945. He is a father of seven, and I'm the eldest of 11 brothers and sisters. But with my father and my mother, he had four, and then after that, when my parents separated and divorced, my mom remarried. She has another four kids, and then later on, my dad remarried and he has another three. That's how I become 11 brothers and sisters. So yeah, but one thing amazing, that's why I wanted to invite my dad here. What I noticed between the three of you, which is have the commonality here, is that how you guys approach on being a solo parent, father, is such with positivity. You know, even my dad, I never seen him being in anger mode or angry or or say that things is not like that. But I never felt it that way. Oh, there you go. That's my dad.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
there
miss
you go. What happened?
Hi. Welcome
What
back.
happened?
food and went off. Now use Ibu's phone.
Ah, so now
Okay.
what happened? You were connected just now and then you got disconnected.
Yeah, now I'm using Ibu's handphone.
Just now you were okay already, then.
Yeah, nothing happened.
I see. Okay.
Well,
So,
I'm the youngest among all the three of you. I'm
okay,
in Taipei. Bukit Larut.
Oh, Bukit
yes.
Larut.
Yeah.
Nice. I used to live there. I
Oh,
lived in Bukit Larut. Yeah, my granddad used to run the rest house in Bukit Larut.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Uh,
So, Papa, let's go. Yeah, I was just introducing uh, of you a bit. Maybe you can summarize about your life. How long you married to Mama, and then
Uh,
after that, how long were you being solo? Maybe you can share with us how long you were a solo father. Maybe you can share with us how long were you being solo father, solo dad, and after that, married again. Maybe you can share with us.
yeah. Well, okay. I have a very colorful life journey, and I'm the oldest among the three of you, and I'm 70 plus. So I've been through marriage twice, and now I'm the second marriage. I was single again at the age of 40. That was after I had four kids with Lisa as the eldest daughter. And after that, at the age of 40, we got divorced, and my ex-wife married Jane. I was single for 5 years. And that was the prime age of 40. And I thought, well, I don't want to get married. Why should I? Then suddenly, my first wife I came around. Actually changed my mind. Up to and me to decide. Okay, let's get on with the marriage life. And then I married her, and I have kids with her. Now I have 7 children, and as Lisa said, 7 grandchildren. I'm now retired, happily retired in Taipei, not my hometown, but I don't know why I not. By the time I regret. And got a house here, nice house, and overlooking Bukit Larut. Every morning I wake up, there you are, Bukit Larut. Beautiful,
Wow, that's
beautiful view.
beautiful.
Yeah, and I'm very happily retired now, and enjoying my life. I'm active in many NGOs, easily 10 of them. One of them, of course, the chairman of the Buiputra, as Lisa mentioned, BMF, and I'm active in tourism and heritage matters. So that's guys. Well, that's a little briefly on my background.
Okay. Thank you for
I-
sharing that, Papa. I
Yeah.
just want to ask you guys, right? Um, very, very importantly, you know, when you guys, like example, like Teacher Ken, how long were you married? How long were you married before you guys were separated?
Oh, okay, all right. So now my case is very different now, okay? Because I married my high school sweetheart, guys. All right. Since Form 4, when we were 15 or 16, we were together, and we were together for so many years, and then we got married. Then, when my eldest son was around 8 years old, then we got divorced. So that's that will have been 8 plus 11, around 20 years. We were together for around 20 years before we got separated. Yeah.
Wow,
Oh
okay.
wait, no, it can't be 20 years, right? Yeah, it's around 18 years, lah. Around 18 years.
Wow, but that was your high school, high school sweetheart.
Yes, I married my high school sweetheart. That's right.
That's nice. Okay, so during that time, how was it for you when you were guys married? How did you handle being a parent at the time, going to work? Because I remember in the previous show at that time, does it affect you when it causes you guys to separate in that way?
Sorry guys. I can't hear you very well, Liz. Yeah, because there's a lot of static, right?
Yeah.
Wait, can you hear me?
Hey,
Is
much
it
better
better?
already. Hey,
Yeah,
much
it's
better.
much
What
better.
happened now? Yep.
Because I took out my earphone.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
so much better.
That's better.
Okay, good. Okay, so I just want to ask you, how was it at that time when you were handling with together with your wife at that time, right? So was it difficult for you to handle together, or what would be when you were before you guys were separating? Was there any challenges during that time that causes the separation, or in that way, was it easy for you? Oh, how was it going on?
Well, I'll be very honest with all of you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The reason why we separated is because as a person, both me and her, we were miserable as people. We didn't really like ourselves. We didn't really like what we were doing, and I was constantly blaming her for everything wrong which happened in my life. A typical
Right.
example, okay, I will go and tell her, right, we have been together for let's say 16, 17 years. I'm in a bad
Yeah.
mood today. Why aren't you saying the words to make me happy? Right.
Right.
For example, if I would come home from a bad day at the investment bank, I would go and say, hey, you know me for so long already. You know that you shouldn't say those things to me.
Right.
Now, looking back, that was really unreasonable, right? And
Yeah.
at the same time, I think that I was going through a large business failure. We had invested a lot of money into a large business, and it was
Yeah.
going very well for a very long time, but then it all collapsed on us. And at the same time, I was going through a divorce, and I really hit rock bottom, right? I really hit rock bottom. And fortunately, I think the best thing was that my ex-wife decided to go and let me have the day-to-day custody of the kids. So now
Right.
that was a real anchor. When I was with my kids, then I started to study. I really started to study and really started to go and reinvent myself and to go and see what I could do to improve myself. And every day it just became a little bit happier, a little bit happier, a little bit happier. So that's my little journey. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And then did you sit down with her to decide on how you guys going to parent the kids together? That you guys mutually discuss in that way?
Yes, we did. So we sat down and we were very frank with each other, and we asked, hey, what would you like, right? So now one thing I learned out of the divorce is that, generally speaking, right, if you want to be in a relationship, you have to go and let them do what they want. You can't really go and control them. As long as it is reasonable, generally speaking, we should let people do what they want to do. So I respected her. I
Correct.
asked her, what would you like? And she said that, I want to go and focus on my career. And,
Right.
yeah, it'll be okay, right? If you could go and look after the kids, keep an eye on the kids for me. And I said, okay, let's try that out. So that's where we are now. Mm,
Wow, that's awesome.
mm,
Because not many people are willing to sit down and discuss about how you're going to raise the children even though you're separated. So
mm.
Jeffrey, how about you? Can you share with us how do you guys handle it? When
Ah, how do we handle it? I think I was
project.
pretty much, we were in maybe our ninth or 10th year together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was just one day that things just didn't work out. And I think what has happened was a lot of things were not going smoothly for each other. And me being me, I kept a lot of things under the carpet. I swept it under the carpet. I didn't
Right,
address it. And you know what, I was kind of like avoiding a lot of stuff. Yeah.
right,
I didn't confront the situation. And when it happened that we were, to when she requested for a divorce, it was already too far in. And
right,
at that moment in time, to be honest with you, I just didn't know how to respond. I didn't
right.
know how to respond. Instead of responding and sitting down and talking to her how to get through this,
Mm-hmm.
I reacted to the whole situation, because I
Mm-hmm.
felt that I was not worthy and stuff like that. And
Right,
yeah, so it became all about me
right,
versus, there was something that was wrong with the relationship. That, what, if we sat down and really uh, face it and work at it, perhaps something could have been done. Yeah, to fix it. But yeah, I was just so messed up at that time. So yeah, long story short, it was a painful breakup pula. It was a painful divorce for me. It took me a while. It took me about 3-4 months at least. Or, oh, actually no, it took me a much longer to recover, to come back,
mm,
to regain myself. and
mm,
and all this time was the thought of the kids, and especially my daughter, that
yeah,
kind of anchored me to gain control of myself.
okay,
Yeah, to regain back a semblance of myself, and to move forward, because I have those two kids to live for, into the future. And what came out from that as well
yeah,
was, my ex-wife and I, we are communicating so much better now. Yeah.
mm,
And all because we are very focused, and we actually do care for each other lah. We do care
mm,
for each other. I mean, I still care for her, about her well-being and stuff like that. And we it's reciprocated lah. Jadi we
mm.
we're very very focused right now on how best to bring up the kids.
Wow,
So I
that's
think with that,
awesome.
yeah, with that common goal that we had, it was really helpful, that we could see past our my anger, at least, or my
Yeah,
pain, uh,
yeah.
just to make things happen for the kids. Yeah.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
that means you're focusing on the kids, and that makes you overcome other anything else, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, before we go on, I just want to say hello to Cairo. Hi, Cairo. Thank you for tuning
Hi.
in, and also Susan Marie, Marisa. Thank you, Kamit, for doing it, Marisa. Okay, Papa, since you are the most expert among all of us here,
Expert.
Yeah, you bet. I must say, I am. In marriage matters.
Marriage
okay.
matters.
So maybe can you guess and
I think
understand? Is it
the both you, the Jeff and Tan, is it?
teacher Ken?
Um,
Yeah.
you haven't got any grandchildren like I have. I
Yeah,
have
not yet.
yeah, not yet. So I have all the level that you have got. You have to go through as a human being, as a
Yeah.
man. Um, and I have a granddaughter. The eldest, the granddaughter is older than my youngest daughter. Can you
Oh,
imagine that? I mean, it's
okay.
quite a privilege. Lisa, the eldest among all the siblings, and I must say, when I was divorced again, my focus was to make sure the children are not affected. The four children from the first marriage. So
Mhm.
my advice to those who have gone through divorce: please put priority on the children. You have to make the difference. You have to put aside all the difference between your ex-wife and yourself, so that you can be friendly for the sake of your children.
Yeah.
I don't know how many children you have. You have one or two, right? I
I have two.
Okay, you
I
have
have
two.
two. Mm.
Okay, so the children welfare and the interest have to be both you work together as a team, so that they don't feel the separation so much.
Yeah.
They're not living together. Father and mother all separate. Oh, that's me.
Wow.
Um, and that was
That's
in,
me.
where was it? Huh? Oh,
Genting.
that was just
And
after the
think,
divorce.
yeah. Really,
Mm.
Lisa,
this one is right after the divorce. This one.
yes, that was immediately after divorce.
Right.
Yeah, what happened is, okay, I don't have the mother. I have the children with me, and luckily and fortunately, the mother was not the one coming in between. Hey, no, 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 no children for you. But she was kind enough to allow me to have access to the children, and I took them for a holiday in, was it in Indonesia? Was it Bali? Was it what? Lisa.
Don't we went? I
Anyway,
don't remember.
we were somewhere together. It was a good trip, and we went down to East Coast, Malaysia, and back
Yeah.
to my hometown and back to Kuala Lumpur. It was the
Okay.
most memorable holiday for us. So it made me forget the sadness of divorce.
Oh,
Right.
but I just want to ask the three of you: is it normal for men normally how you guys address in relationship wise that you don't? I think most of my show I was calling a lot of single women because they are able to express more of what was going on with their life, as a single mom, as a single parent. But for men, it's a bit they don't it's not easy for them to really talk about these kind of things, and is it why is it for how come I don't know what's the actual reason it's difficult for them to really talk, like Jeb, you were saying that you normally you don't really express and you push it under the carpet, like Papa, I think you have that tendency also push it. Okay, never mind. Don't need to talk about it. What's the you think? Is men have that kind of tendency? They don't really want to talk about these things. Is difficult thing to talk about. Maybe you guys can give us some
Um.
insight, woman.
Uh, okay. from my point of view, is that I think for me, because I was not the one that like to get into arguments or conflicts. And I run away from conflicts. Yeah.
Right.
So if kalau boleh, I would just say, hey, you know what? It's okay lah. I'll back away from it. But in doing so, I didn't get my voice heard. I didn't get my voice heard, and I was always not able to also address the situation. So
Right.
so nak kata takut is not about takut, but it's more of I didn't want to have the conflict. I was avoiding conflict. Yeah. So maybe
Right.
different people would address that differently. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, but I realized that was my biggest breakdown. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
I could have just faced it and then work with it and go in with the hard questions for each other, then perhaps things would be a lot different.
Right.
I would imagine. Yeah. But yeah.
Mm.
So that was for me. Yeah. I don't
Teacher
know
Ken, what
about.
do you think?
Um, okay, so now as a parenting trainer, I have a few words to say on this. Okay, all right.
Okay.
We inherit our parenting styles and how we communicate to our spouses from our own parents. So,
Mm.
for example, right, if I look at the way how my dad treats my mother, that's how I will go and talk to my wife also. All right, or
Ah.
how I communicate my needs to all of you is also how I learn. It's also emulating my dad. Maybe not 100% because there are other influences in my life, kan, my teachers, my friends, YouTubers, kan, okay.
Right.
But generally speaking, that's how we learn to communicate our needs. So it might be that a lot of guys, right, come from a generation where their dads are very stoic men, they're very strong, or perceived to be strong, and that's why we learn to avoid conflict, or we learn to be a bit more resolute compared to women. Now, having said that, okay, I think that generally speaking, women have a bit of a harder time in Asian culture, right? There's still a wage gap, kan, right? And they may not have such easy opportunities or easy access to higher management, for example. So if we're talking about the wage gap, then as dads, we will be a bit more comfortable compared to our lady counterparts, and when we're a bit more comfortable, we can afford more conveniences. We can be less stressed with our children, maybe. So that might be one of the reasons why single moms are struggling more than single dads, for example. Maybe, possible.
Okay. So,
But
what
but
do you
I
think? Oh, yeah, Jeffrey.
Yeah, sorry. I well, in that sense, my ex-wife was earning a lot more than me. So that's why I would not say that would be a sweeping generalization, because a lot to be honest, a lot of Malaysian women nowadays are holding a lot higher positions,
Agree.
and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I was not emasculated by that fact, because she did great in her job, and she was a high achiever, and she was a driver in her work, and that's who she was. And for me, I being a trainer, and I don't have like full 30 days of work and all that, so I played a bit of a back role. I handled the kids, I handled the homes and stuff like that. So yeah, and she supported whenever she was there as well. So I would say, to be honest, right now, she is in a better position with the kids as compared to I. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Okay.
So
But then I think both parents give a different values to the kids. You guys have different things that you can give to kids. Like my mom, I'm very close to my mother, and I'm also close to my father. And both of them are completely different from each other, like night and day. Jeffrey, you met my mother,
yes,
right?
yes, I have met your
Now you
mom.
met. Yes. So my
Yeah.
dad and my mom is completely opposite each other. And
Right. Yes.
I would just like to share like how what happened to my mom last time is not my mom today. Okay, my mom last time, I think a lot of women how we react to pain is more of reactive, and we probably become like really like a tiger. When we get angry, we become like really tiger. Can be very vicious one, you know. So I think that's how women become more expressive in that way. Yeah, they can cause pain as well to a lot of people around them. So that without them realizing it, you know. So that was what happened actually last time. Mama. I tell you, our family is very colorful. A lot of drama minggu ini. Anyway, I just want to say hello before I go on to my sister here, Nadia. Hi,
Nadia
Nadia.
Christina. Hi.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, so and I still remember last time, my mom at that time, my dad is already out of the house, yeah. And then my mom remarried already to the second husband. The second husband is pretty strict also. At that point, I think there was, my dad was not able to communicate with my mom yet. So I still remember I was like drama minggu ini at the door with, and my dad at the gate waiting for hours on the gate. And I was like, Mama, Daddy, Papa. And my mom wouldn't let us see my dad, you know. And then my dad, he can stand there for hours and hours so that we can just have a glimpse of us. It was a very, very difficult time at that point of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but fortunately, I think when I was 15 years old, I actually ran away, play with my father. Really? Yeah, and then my mom was living in a big house. She's a businesswoman, and then we had four helpers at that time. Four helpers, and but I decided to just leave and stay with my single dad. And when I stayed with my dad, I had to take care of my own food. My dad had to go to work. I kena cari makan. I have to wash my own clothes. I was like 15 years old at that time. Yeah. So, but I think somehow me leaving at that time, I think it has helped my dad to communicate with my mom. Right?
Mm.
Do you remember that? Yeah. So I believe that was the turning point for them to communicate, So somehow it got better, yeah. At that time, I think because I was becoming rebellious, rebellious, and then they had, what do I do? They decided together, they both of them work together, make sure somehow I got a good result in my SRP, and both of them work together to send me to boarding school.
Right. Well, I
What is it?
well, for me, I am really grateful and blessed that my wife, my ex-wife, and I came to our senses very quickly after the divorce, and uh, because my ex-wife knows that I love my daughter a lot. Yeah, we are very close,
Mm,
and and
mm,
and she actually made it a point for me to be able to see the kids as often as I can. Yeah, she
mm.
didn't make any demands in such a way, and she actually decided that, hey, you know what, let's do this together, and you have access to the kids anytime you want. They're still your kids, and make sure you make time for them. She actually did remind me about that. So I feel really grateful and blessed to have that. Yeah. So yeah, it really helps because I also came from a broken family. My mom and dad
Mm.
also divorced, so I knew how painful it was, and I didn't want my kids to experience that, even though they've already experienced it. But
Yeah.
I try to my best. I think the both of us are trying our best to make it as normal as we can for them. Yeah. So we
Mm.
speak a lot to them about it. We share a lot about it with them. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you
We
guys handle it? When you guys decide to separate, what do you guys do? Do you guys sit down with the kids together, or did you explain to them? And what do you guys do?
we actually went for counseling. We actually
Ah,
went for counseling. Yeah. We went for
The
counseling.
line.
Yeah, we went for counseling, and the first stage we tried to work on ourselves, and
right.
after that, after we got sorted out working with on ourselves, we decided to focus on how do we tell the kids, or how do
Okay.
we deal with the kids, because
Right.
they they were at the age, I think my girl was 7 years old then.
All
Yeah,
right.
probably seven, and we asked the counselor how to deal with it. Yeah,
Right.
and we worked on that, and together we worked to tell the story to the kids. Yeah, not making up a fake story, but telling them in such a way that they would understand it, that mommy and daddy had to stay apart and stuff like that. So I was really grateful for that as well, because that helped us along. And after we dealt with the kids, then we started dealing with ourselves, how we were to move on from that separately.
Ah,
Yeah, that means in going into different
By the way,
relationship, whatnot. Yeah.
both you are still single now.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, okay.
That one will come
Well,
to
I
you
was.
for advice. Get some tips from you.
I don't know how long ago were you both single again, but it
Yeah.
was a long time ago for me. When I was 40, I was single, and
Right.
I was single.
Wow.
And when the first time I got a divorce, I hope that's the only one. It took me a while before I recovered because I wasn't prepared for the divorce, and I know I'm a family man. I love my children very much. So that's why you could see I waited at the front door. I'm at the gate, like Lisa said, for hours to see them. The first time was not easy until after a while, the ex-wife, my Lisa's mother, realized, what the hell is going on? Why should I be in between them? And she became calm again and she allowed the children to come and see me. It took a while, and she was very busy with a new business that she started, and she
Right.
was well off. But fortunately, I was working in a company where I have a very steady, stable job, and slowly I moved myself up to corporate level, and I become successful in my own way. And second marriage came in later, much later. I was single for a while, and I think I did enjoy my single life. In my I was enjoying. I don't know you guys are enjoying your single life, but I was. Yeah,
Right.
after I think, what the hell I'm doing? How can I be miserable for the rest of my life? No, but I tell myself, 40 years, I was a manager. Why not? And not bad looking, when I was young. So, and
Yeah,
that
I could
was,
see that. I could see that.
yeah.
I
And then,
I actually thought you were a movie star. Based on that photo that Liz showed earlier, I thought, ni macam which actor I jumpa dekat dalam cerita macam tu. Tu
Wow.
lah.
Wow.
My
Even
I
now in
think that's the
God,
Cikgu
that
time.
was
Halim.
like hell, Amir.
Mm.
That was the
Even
time.
now you look like very distinguished
That was
gentleman. Yeah.
that was when I married again 5 years
Okay.
later,
Ah,
and that was
right.
my well, she my being single, and when she approached her mother to ask, "Hey, mother, what do you think? I married this man." I said, are you serious? The mother was asking her. She's got 4 kids. Yeah lah, 1 plus 4. 1 plus 4. So
Yeah.
I went to see the mother, and the mother is as young as me. Finally, she agreed. Yes, Halim, you take care of her. All right. She wants to marry you, and she said to me, you know what? If you either marry this guy, I won't marry anymore for the rest of my life. So she got away.
Ah.
Yeah, instant family.
Yeah.
She is old. That's me, and she's only 10 years older than me. So 20 years younger than my dad.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right.
So
When the both of them to a function, to my company a function, which one is your daughter?
they were announcing me. They were playing some games. They were saying they were playing some games together when they announced the winner. Oh, Halim and daughter won the game. They thought my stepmom is the daughter. I said, no wonder nobody asked me for a dance because they thought I'm the wife.
Oh no!
I see. Jatuh lah
At the
somehow.
company, yeah, at company dinner. It was so funny. Yeah. So, okay. Jeffrey, that's really amazing that you shared that you work out on yourself on the counseling and also getting to tell the children together and how to handle it and then work out on yourself. Maybe you can share how you guys handle it when you tell your kids.
Wow. Okay, so I have quite a bit to go and share in this regard. Okay. Now, there are many schools of thought on this, and I've spoken to a lot of marriage counselors and psychologists and therapists. Right, what's the best way to go and deal with this topic? Yeah. But personally, I think the one which works for me is also something which I would invite everyone to consider as well. Yeah. Okay. Now, are you happier or more miserable after the divorce? Are you happier or are you more miserable after the divorce? If you both are happier because it's a mutual separation, then that's the messaging you have to tell your children. You have to tell them, we both love you very much, and the best way for us both to take care of you is for us to be happier. And we are happier today. All right, so now we can go and say, yep, your mother is happier, I'm happier, and because of that, we can both love you much better. That worked for me because ours was somewhat of a mutual separation. Now, if you are in a divorce and after the divorce, you feel absolutely miserable, and because of that, you're going to affect the way you message to your children about the divorce, then really it goes back to what Jeffrey has said, it goes back to what you have said, Liz, and it goes back to what Encheck up to Halim has said. Work on yourself. Work together with your ex-spouse to go and clear up, get a bit of distance. No, you don't have to do it immediately. Both of you might need a bit of distance to go and so that you guys go back to your neutral ground. And then with some objectivity, with some time, with some space, you will be able to go and explain to your children why is this better for them in the long term.
Yeah, because a lot of parents, I think, I don't know, they don't really explain in a way that you have said, and that causes, and sometimes it happens that the mother or the father will say, oh, why you listen to your father, and then they start saying things to them that causes the children don't want to talk to the other parent that not living with, or
Yeah. Agree.
I think that happens a lot, and I don't think we needed to go that way. So before that, I just want to say hello to my mommy. My mommy's here.
Hi, Amelia.
Yeah, rock that. Thank you, Mama, for joining in. I don't know what's happened to my dad. I'm just gonna let him see what happened to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, I agree with teacher Ken. Getting yourself into a better state before telling the kids. But what happened with us because of the counseling, right? And upon the counselor's advice as well, um, we both crafted a story to tell the kids because it says, "Hey," I said, I was worried because the kids were so young. How do you
Yeah.
tell a 7-year-old and a 6-year-old what's happening? How do they
Mm,
process that?
mm,
And he says, you know what? Kids love stories. Why don't you tell it in a story form? So
right.
we teamed up.
Mm.
And I told my ex-wife, you know what? You are good at telling stories, and I can I can at least try to draw. So I kind of draw up
Oh,
a comic scenario. And I
really?
drew it out. Yeah, I did. I still remember. I actually still kept that picture with me somewhere. Um, you know,
Wow.
I drew the current house as a castle, and then because they love princesses and stuff, fairy tales, right? So
So
I
your
did
so,
that. Yeah, a
uh,
picture with mommy, and yeah, that's my daughter in front, and then my boy right at the back.
uh,
Ah,
Wow.
yeah.
Your son looks exactly like you, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, this is a nice one. This is in Taiping at the
ah,
durian plantation. Yeah.
and and
That's
yes,
that's that's my uncle.
and
Oh,
Wow.
look
this
at
is
you.
a first trekking experience that I brought her to Bukit Gasing.
Bukit
Wow,
Gasing.
you
Yep.
carry
Yeah.
her. You carry her. Ah.
Ah, partially. Yeah. We
And
walked
you
we walked
as
for a
a
fair bit.
journeyman.
Ah. Yeah.
Yeah, go on, go on. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
so
sharing.
so
Yeah, yeah.
so what happened was so I drew up that castle, and then I drew a separate castle, and then shared with them that so mommy told the story, daddy drew up the pictures and the illustrations, and mommy told the story that what happened, and mommy and daddy couldn't stay together anymore. We had disagreements. We couldn't find a
Yeah,
way together, and
right.
we daddy decided to move away. So
Yeah.
that's how but both still love you. And I also drew the picture where we would come together and meet up and have food together. And actually that is happening right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So I like I said, I'm ever grateful that my ex-wife was willing to team up with me, because the both of us realized very, very quickly and very early on that what, this is between the two of us. We messed up. uh, it's got nothing to do with the kids, so we need to
Yes.
make sure the kids know this, that it's not because of them, and that we love them no matter what. Even though we are living apart, we still love them. They're always our first priority. so
That's
so yeah, so it was like,
amazing.
yeah, it's kind of like working with teams, and and at the end of
Yeah.
the day, we are aligned with that one goal. Yeah, so
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
we made it happen. It's yeah, teacher Ken was right to say, hey, you know what, if you're not in a good emotional state, don't tell them, because you will be angry and you will tell your kid this thing about mama, that thing about daddy,
Yeah.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
asking them to choose side, things like
yeah,
that. It's not.
exactly. And I'm
Yes.
very conscious of that when I talk to my kids, and if mommy scolds or punishes them for not doing their work or stuff, I also take the time to explain to them. There was this one time when they all rushed out excited to see me, and then we all rushed out to the pool, and they forgot to close the door. And then when they
Right.
came back, mommy was very angry, because mommy was
Mm.
very. So I had to explain, mommy, tata you is because, you know what? When mommy goes out, and if you guys forget to lock the door, can you imagine what's gonna happen to you? People might come in and kidnap you or something like that. Yeah.
Mm.
So I explained it to them. Then they were pacified. They realized that, oh,
Mm.
okay, yeah. So yeah, mommy makes you remember that it is not safe to leave the doors open like that.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
love it when you do that vision board and it's actually came true.
Ah,
That's just an amazing story, and I think a lot of people who are going through that kind of separation could emulate the same way like what you and Tita Kian are doing.
yeah.
That's what's needed, yeah, to have kids
Yeah.
feel uh, if they go out there, they feel more a confident person, So
Yeah.
how do you think your kids are handling at school or people? How do they share? Do you know? A teacher, can you want to share? Do you know if your kids how do they share? Like the last there's one show that I had with Basala, her two kids. The kids, I asked them, okay, how they say, they didn't think that being a broken family is anything wrong. They don't see it as being a stigma or whatever. They didn't realize it because they were young. They just announced, "Oh, my name is so and so. My parents are divorced." They actually made an announcement like that. So,
Ah,
yeah, because they didn't think it was anything wrong to it because mom never presented it anything wrong with it because they
right.
also had a good way of the good relationship. The parents and the father has this role, the mother is this role, but they're separated. They're still able to work together. So and they were sharing how they were handling it. So it was really amazing. So maybe you can share how do you know if how your kids are handling it.
Okay, all right. So I think I'm very glad that you asked this question, Elise. Okay, so now here I have two different thoughts. Let's analyze this, okay? So now,
Yeah.
number one, okay, for the sake of your children, for the good of your children, right? Yes, you have to go and present the divorce as something which was ultimately better for both parents. All right. So you have to go and tell them. I mean, for me anyway, that's what I feel. All right. Um,
Mm-mm.
if you are unhappier after the divorce, well, then why do you get divorced? Right. If you're unhappier after the divorce, then why do you get divorced? All right. So now you have to go and explain to your children that this is ultimately for you. We are doing this to serve you better as parents. However, okay, statistically and research has shown that children who have divorced parents have a very high propensity to get divorced themselves because at some point they feel that it is normalized behavior for a couple to separate lah. So now you have to go and explain to them that yes, okay, Papa and Mama, all right, we used to love each other very much, and for the majority of couples, they stay together, all right, and you need to go and work very hard in your relationship as well in the future so that you can go and stay together with you. First of all, you have to choose very carefully who you want to go and get together with and to have children with, right? And secondly, all right, you have to work really hard so that you can stay together for your children or my grandkids lah. All right. So I don't have data to back this up. I do not know whether it's correct or not to normalize divorce, but I can share with you that definitely children whose parents are divorced, they have a very high chance for themselves to get divorced. So I think that has to be managed. Yeah, that has to be
Yeah.
managed. Yeah.
Me,
So what
me.
do you think? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my parents were divorced. So yeah, it happened to me too, right? But then at the same time, yeah, I kind of agree with Teacher Ken that yeah, that's a high propensity for that to happen. But how I am dealing with that as well, knowing all this, I talk a lot to my kids,
Right.
especially my daughter, because she is at an age where she can reason with things, and I actually have dialogues with her. I ask her things about, what do you feel and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm not sure what happens at school, but how we normalize it is mommy sends them to school in the morning, and I go and fetch them in the afternoon. So gives them that balance that, hey, you know what, mommy and daddy is still here for me no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
and
Yeah.
and and I do have chats with her, so you know what, if mommy wants to get married, do you think it's okay? Yeah, she says, yeah, I'm okay. And she sometimes she asks me, don't you want to get married, Daddy? She's always asking me things like that as well. So I agree, have dialogues with them to make sure that they understand that. I told her mommy and daddy can't stay together because we had disagreements and we couldn't see eye to eye on things. That's why we couldn't come together with that. So
Yeah.
sometimes you have to work at it.
Yeah.
So she kind of like acknowledges that, but it's an ongoing process.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an ongoing process.
So, Papa, taking on to Teacher Ken Jeffrey saying that, there is a stigma coming from a broken family, and like Teacher Ken said, that, what happens in from the past, what you see from our parents, most likely that they may be a statistic that if you come from a broken family, most likely that you may have get divorced also.
Not necessarily because broken marriage, you yourself, the children follow. Not necessarily. I think the rate of divorce in the modern society is high, especially among Muslims. Whether because of parents, I don't know. But it's just that the divorce becomes so easily nowadays that people get married and divorce and married again or divorce. So I don't know. It's a common thing nowadays. In our family, Lisa, all right, my children, I have 7, and 2 of them were divorced actually. Now, is that because of I was divorced before, or is natural thing for in today's world? Because sometimes they people marry young and not prepared, their career not stable, financially not stable, so that can actually cause a divorce. So if a husband or wife are both a career and they are successful, the chances they may stay together. But if they are struggling all along, then there may be a divorce, a cause for divorce. So I don't know. But anyway, if the interesting happened to me is that all my children and the first marriage and the second marriage and the second marriage, the other wife, my ex-wife, there are 12 of them. How many of them? 11. They're all getting along well. That's something amazing. They all get to know each other like family. That's amazing. It's not easy to achieve that. And I'm glad that my children from their present wife and the children of previous wife are like, they treat each other as a brother and sisters. They help each other. They're warm. They're happy together. That's one thing good. I don't know, but could be because our relationship with the ex-wife is good. It helps to the relationship of the existing marriage wife, children, and the previous wife.
Yeah, agree. I think when the dust settles, and then we come to terms, and we get our head back, and then we realize that, hey, you know what, we don't have to be enemies just because we disagree. Just like my brothers and my sisters are my half sisters, but you know what, we are all very close. We're all very close. Because we decide that, hey, we need to be close, after all we're here for each other. So
of course, having a big family with different, there's always going to be dramas for us. Always going to be squabbles among us. That will happen. But at the end of the day, we are always there for each other. Even on my wedding day, all my siblings are there. Both of my parents are there. Both of my step parents are there. So I'm just like, wow, I have a big amazing family coming together. So which is quite unique in a way, which not many people have that kind of opportunity to have that kind of relationship with other. Some are so separated from each other. But it is for us. It is dramas and all that. It always happens, but you always find ways to overcome it. So I think what my dad is doing, okay, maybe Papa, you can share this two still solo right now. Are you guys going to the relationship and all that? Papa, you can share how do you open up yourself to, after you've gone through a very painful divorce, how did you start opening up yourself to love and then to be married?
Teacher Ken, this is the one we need to listen carefully, eh?
Yeah, it got cut off. Because maybe the Bukit Larut wind situation must have been trapped. What you asked, Nita?
Okay.
We want to learn from you how to fall in love again. We two singles now, kan?
Just like I started. Dia macam cerita. A broken marriage doesn't mean that's the end of life. A marriage doesn't mean it's a bed of roses. It's not a bed of roses. Those who want to get married, no, don't think marriage is like a bed of roses. It's like castle. No, it's not easy. Both have got to come down and to agree to accept each other. But if you are all hard-headed and all ego, and I am right, you're wrong, then it won't work. So you have to compromise. So in the second marriage, I probably have to compromise a lot. My wife.
Yeah, but the question is, Papa, how did you open up yourself to fall in love?
I was close, actually. I was close. And for another girl to come back to accept me with 4 kids, I'm 20 years older. That's something not usual, very unusual. I mean, I couldn't find another one. I have one younger one before that, about same age, but she found another boyfriend and she had it off. So okay, never mind. And then she came along, and she has probably seen all other guys, all the same age, all a boyfriend. Semua kawan semua same age. Not matured. This old man very good, very mature, very understandable, very patient, and he's got a steady job. Never mind about 4 kids. And so she decided to, when I proposed, or she said, okay, you go and see my mother. Then I went, my mother in Johor. I went and see her, and
yeah, so you went on. So what you're saying, just open up the hearts lah.
Yeah, she opened up my heart. Yeah, I was close already, but then slowly, if she can accept. I remember Lisa, she was still young, and we are not together. And she was very close to family before marriage. I said, why not? Right? And then you come here, she can even accept the children to stay with us. In fact, Lisa came, the 2 young ones came. We have only a big house, right? They were staying in a bungalow house. If they are willing to come, that means she has a good heart. She has a good heart.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very, very good heart. It's really, really amazing. So there's always hope for both of you.
Maybe in the mouth the same. Maybe in the mouth the same as your mother.
Asam garam.
Hati masih ada. Wow, that's awesome. Tapi I tell you, fathers will always have a special heart in the children. We always be will always be protective of our parents, of my father. We went through a lot. Me and my mom asking, Teacher Kean, can you find 20 years younger wife as Papa did?
Wow, we'll be underage, 16 years old in my case.
But above all, you have to be very patient man. As a man, you be patient. You can exercise your ego, but be patient. Because in all these things, that okay, you're right. But actually, they are wrong. Also, you say right. Never mind. But at the end of the day, you're not winning the battle. It's winning the war. So I decided, second marriage, I have to win the war. But I lost many battles.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. But it's not about winning or losing. It's about understanding that your partner is also on a journey, right? They are not here to They're not here to agree with you. They're not here to make you happy. They have their own thoughts. They have their own journey. So just understand what they want to do. Let support them in whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think as long as we all always have faith that things will be better and work our way together as a family, that then like you guys are really amazing, is that you're always doing a positive thing, and I think it's a great example, and that's why I wanted to have this interview, because this is the message that not many people are able to hear more. That there are ways on how we can, even though you are separated, you still can be happy and still be a happy family. Even though the mom and daughter, mom and father not together anymore, still can be a happy family.
Yeah.
So I think that message is very, very important for us to bring out there, I believe. So but I really want to share one story with you guys, a very funny story about me and my dad. Okay, when I was 18 years old, my dad is actually, okay, my mom is, I'm going to tell the story today. This is my mom dulu, my mom, the tiger mom dulu. So my dad was a guarantor to my mom's business. Okay, so and then they're not together anymore. So something happened at my mom's business where she's got some legal battle with some other airline. She was in the airline in travel industry, so got sued and got a problem. So she cannot able to pay for the bank because the airline was owing her money, things like that. So my dad was the guarantor. So he had to go to the court. And at that time, I was a first year law student. Okay, so my dad thought it was just a small court, or like an arbitration court to go against the bank and the bank punya lawyer. Sekali pergi sana, memang the bank came with the lawyer, and it's not a small court, it's a big court with the judge with the with the white wig in the black robe on the atas mahkamah, or that, a real big court, And my dad did not bring any lawyer, but he just brought a first year law student, me, his own.
Yeah.
So at that time, when, and then the lawyer from the bank was, berhujah and all that. And then after they're done, because it's a very straightforward case, my dad's supposed to pay, blah, 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 because he's the guarantor. So they expect to win the case already. And then when the judge went to my dad, okay, then my dad need to explain. I remember my dad standing up, and my dad was like, like that, he didn't know how to explain. And then I went behind my dad, I went like this, I was a student, because I don't know how to approach. Because I'm just a first year law student, I've never been in court. So I just angkat tangan like a student, like that, behind my dad. And I remember this image until today. The judge with the white wig, with the glasses, and the robe, and he looked down, awak ni siapa pula? I was like, yang judge kan, saya
Yang Arif.
Yang Arif apa yang cakap Yang Arif, saya ni anak kepada Encik Halim, boleh tak saya bercakap sikit? So he allowed me. So I actually explained the case, and I knew what happened to my mother, and I was explaining. And then after that, the judge looked at the other lawyers and said, so do you know about this case? No, they don't. And guess what? We won the case, me and my father.
Ini macam cerita Piramli ya.
And then outside the case court, and then the lawyer and the bank came to us, and they were like smiling and shaking hands with us. And they said, this is the first time happened to us. This is a very straightforward case. We're supposed to win this case. We never thought we will lose against a first year law student.
Yeah, okay.
But that was a funny story. But it was, yeah. But I think I'm just saying that your kids love you, love the father. We will love you and protect you. Your kids, when they grow up, they're going to be like me. We are sure that they're going to be like me. Be protective of you guys as well. No
And then
matter what.
and that law student, Anna, never became a lawyer. Never. You don't practice what? You got a law degree and you want to be a lawyer.
No, I became lawyer bureau.
Aduh.
So,
Wah.
hi Vivian, thank you for joining us. We're about to
Hi,
finish
Vivian.
anyway. Okay, so maybe before we shut down, we go and I just want to ask, what are your message to parents who are going in the same situation as you, and what is your message to them? What do you think that you like to tell them? Maybe you want to start. Who wants to start first? Jeffrey? Yeah.
Okay. If my message to them would be, if you are getting into a divorce, get a third party, a counselor, to help you with it first. Even though, you know what, even though it's the end of the road, get a counselor so that the counselor can knock some sense into you. Yeah, a marriage counselor can knock some sense into you, because at the end of the day, just like this conversation I had with my friend, she says, you know what, it is not the kids' fault, right? Don't make the kids suffer. Yeah, we adults have our stupid egos sometimes, and we want to be at loggerheads. Yeah, tapi yang susah and selesa tu budak-budak. So get a marriage counselor to just help you make sense and put you in a better place, a neutral place, so that you can create a better future for your kids. Yeah, at the end of the day, we adults, we are old enough. We did what we did. We need to move on, but the kids need to move on positively as well. Yeah, that would be my advice. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. How about Papa? You want to say something?
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
your
of
message
course. Okay, now macam ni. Divorce comes about because the wife and the husband cannot get along for some reason or other. The children have got nothing to do with the conflict. Nothing. So you must make sure that whatever going to happen to your marriage, the children is not the one to become a victim. Their welfare must be taken care. Must be both sides, both the husband and the wife. Now, when I was about to get a divorce, I knew the woman. Now, one thing about woman, I think you're dealing with woman, right? Now both are men, so you divorce the wife. Now they are very strong. They have their own mind. They could have their own career, doing very well. So they are likely to be the one that ask for divorce. Ataupun very strong about the divorce. So okay, when my ex-wife asked for divorce, there's nothing I could do. I know it. I've lost it. So okay, fine. But I was very, very broken or not happy because our children will be affected. So my job was to make sure the children is minimal. The effect of the marriage or the divorce is minimal. That was my aim. As there are nothing to do with the conflict. So the divorce went off nicely, smoothly, although I was very broken man, but doesn't matter. It's only temporary. 6 months, 1 year, it'll be over. So I don't know you guys how long, but doesn't mean that you can't get married again. Find another suitable wife, potential take over the second wife, but make sure she agree to help you to keep the children welfare interest. Now my my present wife is very, very nice with the ex-children because to her, those are the victim. So must be close. Then
Yeah.
we are happy. I'm happy for that until today. No regret getting married soon. But of course, you know the old tricks. You know how to pandai skill lah, kan experience. Being an experienced man, you could try and be more patient and overcome the differences. And your
Yeah.
marriage, inshallah, will be good.
Inshallah. Yeah.
Second marriage.
Thank you,
Don't give
Papa.
myself.
Okay.
Okay.
Teacher Ken.
So I have something good for all of you, okay? Whether or not you're married, single, or divorced, yeah, okay? Now, you have to be very kind. You have to be very kind to yourself. You have to be very kind to your ex-spouse. You have to be
Yeah.
very kind to your children, especially during a very difficult time. Now, your
Mm.
ex-spouse might not understand, and she or he might be very angry at you still. But you have to be kind to yourself and to her, and you have to understand that, like Encik Abdul Halim says, that all this is temporary. All right,
Yeah.
all this is temporary. Now, if you went through a divorce, and I'm sure that you must have thought a lot about it, and you came to the decision that it is better for the both of you to be apart for now.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to explain to your children as well. And some of them, especially older children, may be very angry. They may not understand. They may blame you for breaking up the family, right? And this is especially true for teenagers and above, like adolescent children. But you have to be kind and you have to understand where they're coming from. Most importantly, you have to be kind to yourself. Otherwise, you're not able to be kind to others also. All right, so that's just advice from me. Be compassionate to yourself and to your ex. Understand if your children are lashing out at you, and if your ex is also lashing out at you.
Yeah, but I forgot to share teacher's kids picture. Wait.
That's all right.
No, sorry.
Everybody who wants to learn about parenting, please come to Teacher Kian's classes. Okay, I'm one of his students too. I became a mommy master this week on my kids when they had an online class. So now I really need Teacher Kian, please help me. So this is Teacher Kian's kids. Got it?
Right.
Itu dia. This is where is it? What is this? And there's the birthday you have with them. Oh,
Right.
yes.
Ah.
So how old are they?
10 years old and 6 years old.
10 years old, like a family together having dinner,
Mm.
and then
Yep,
this
that's my family.
is
Oh, when they were both sick. When they were both
when
down
they
with
were both
measles.
sick, and
Yeah.
you're taking care of them.
Yes, correct.
And then look at this.
This controversial photo.
So, I really had a great learning from all of you today. And I really love all your stories, amazing stories, and your sharings. I think a lot of people, whoever's going to watch this video, going to learn a lot as well. And I want to say really thank you. And, I'm so blessed having my mother. My mom is the best mother in the world. My dad is the best father in the world. Even though they're not together, but they're still the best parent to me. I really so thankful because they work together. Yeah, Alhamdulillah. Because I know both of them, no matter what, will always be there for me.
Yeah. Thank you for nice words.
I'm so blessed. I'm 47 and I still have my parents together with me and be with me. And I still remember, I think about 2-3 years ago, I was hospitalized. I thought I was going to die. It was really bad. Both my mom and my dad were there. Nobody knew they were divorced. The nurses, doctors, they didn't know, but both my mom and my dad is there by my bedside. And they take turns to take care of me. I'm 45 at that time. But my dad, 75, my mom 70 plus also. I know 60, no, not 70, much younger than that, 60 something. But they work, they are still here, and I'm so blessed. And you guys, thank you so much for, still working together with the mother of your children. And I believe your children will be the same as I do. They will. And thank you for being the best father you are. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
Linda.
you.
Thank you very much. It was
Thank
okay.
you.
If you're alright, if you're okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm just saying I'm so blessed. And I'm so
Thank
blessed.
you.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
so blessed. I have my mom and dad. Yeah.
Well,
They
we are here.
became
We are
they
here.
became the best parents. The best parent. They're always there for me no matter what. Until what I go through. My whole life I'm pillars.
Yeah.
Okay. And thank you everyone for watching this and seeing me cry. I think thank you,
Right.
Kean, thank you,
Bye, Linda.
Jeffrey,
Okay.
and
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay.
thank you everyone
Bye.
else for watching tonight
Hey,
at
come
Mama
typing. Bukit Larut, come back. Come and see me.
Yeah,
Yes.
inshallah. When I go back
Okay.
to Taiping, I will come look for you
Yeah, come and see me.
and get more tips from you.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Bye bye, and everybody has to stay back. Don't go knock out. You just hold on. Okay. Bye bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.